Happy Wednesday, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, the 4th day of June 2014. I'm your friendly neighborhood naturopath, your steadfast advocate for health. Welcome aboard to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now, where we talk about all things holistic, where we talk about science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery that your medical professional is completely unaware of. Why? Because the medical theater here in the United States and North America and all around the world has been completely dominated and co-opted by the pharmaceutical industry for the last 100 years. So your MD, bless their hearts, does not know what's best for you. He or she only knows what they've been trained in, and what they've been trained in is just a tiny piece of the pie of medical science. And so this is what we do here. We talk about the stuff that your MD is unaware of, therapeutics, the intention of which are to support and promote your body's ability to fix itself. And this is the fundamental foundation, principle, and difference between the holistic method and all other methods. Holistic medicine argues that the body knows how to fix itself, the body wants to fix itself, and it's the holistic physician's job to facilitate that process. Your MD is trained to believe that once you're sick, you're screwed. Your body absolutely, positively cannot fix itself, and your only option is to manage your symptoms with drugs until surgery is needed, and then when the surgery fails, you just get another surgery. And this is how it goes in the land of the insane. The problem that exists right now is that, the medical industry has been monopolized. And because the medical industry has been monopolized, you have just one worldview, just one philosophy that overarches everything else, and it becomes reality by consensus. It becomes the insanity club. All the MDs follow along in lockstep. They all follow along in lockstep. Right or wrong, they just put out the party line. And they have no intellectual integrity because they have no problem changing the party line, which they do all of the time. First they'll tell you that these cholesterol levels are healthy, and then they'll adjust it down, and then they'll adjust it down, and then they'll adjust it down. They'll do the same thing with blood pressure. They'll do the same thing with LDL and HDL. And when they move the goalpost, nobody calls them on it. Nobody holds their feet to the intellectual fire of integrity. And why? Because they're the top dog, and they have convinced everybody in the world that it's their way or the highway, and that they are the exclusive owners of the domain of scientific medicine, and that everybody else is a back-of-the-bus quack. So, they have convinced you that it's their way is the only way. And this is the biggest problem that we have in the world right now, is our abject allegiance and genuflection at the altar of MD-directed allopathic reductionism, which is great for surgery when surgery is necessary, and it's great for trauma when your attending physician is not addicted to street drugs, alcohol, or prescription medication, as Harvard University says over 50% of emergency room physicians are. Again, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and when you have a monopoly, it's only a matter of time until corruption sets in. So, the MDs harm us, the MDs kill us, the MDs bankrupt us, and we give them a pass. They continue to have a job. They continue to go back to work. They continue to deliver a juvenile, outdated, old-fashioned therapeutics that actually hurt people, and nothing happens to them. And this is a problem. Now, people always ask me, they say, Doc, there are a lot of nutritional supplement companies in the world. There's a lot of vitamins. There's a lot of herbs. There's a lot of nutritional supplements. How do I know as a layperson which ones are the best? Well, quite frankly, you can't know as a layperson which ones are best. It's not your job to know as a layperson which ones are best. It's not your job to know how to fix the brakes in your car. It's not your job to know how to fix the electrical service in your house. It's not your job to know how to put a roof on your house. It's not your job to know how to plumb your toilet. It's not your job to know quantum physics. It's not your job to know how to convert oil into gasoline. It's not your job to know how to pump oil out of the ground. Right? And neither is it your job to be able to discern the intricate subtleties involved in the manufacture and delivery of nutritional supplements. That's the physician's job. That's my job. So it always makes me laugh when, well, it's kind of a bittersweet reality that people are so frustrated with conventional medicine. And nobody knows what naturopathic medicine is. People have a hard time pronouncing it, let alone knowing what it is. And there are less than, I think, 5,000 licensed naturopathic physicians in the entire world right now. So people, generally speaking, know that conventional medicine doesn't work for chronic disease, and they're frustrated with the effects of conventional medicine, and they have it in their minds, correctly so, that there must be another way. So people are led to try to figure it out themselves, which is tantamount to, if you had a toothache, I guess you could go on the internet and figure out how to drill it yourself and how to fix it yourself, and then, buy all the tools you needed online and actually do it yourself. But that's kind of a bad idea. People don't do that, right? But people will, in fact, try to fix Lyme disease. They will, in fact, try to fix high blood pressure. They will, in fact, try to fix congestive heart failure or kidney disease or joint disease themselves by trying to figure it out online, which is a fool's errand. But, you have to do something because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and you're suffering. And pain sucks. Suffering sucks. Not having optimal, body function is horrible. It's like the old adage, when the shoe fits, you don't feel it, but when the shoe doesn't fit, that's all you do is feel it. Well, it's the same way with your liver, your kidneys, your brain, your eyes, your throat, anything. When things start to go wrong with your body, it is a strong and persistent problem that has to be overcome. So people must do something. So they're driven to the internet to try to figure it out themselves, which is a tragedy. It's a Greek tragedy, because it's rarely is it going to end in a positive outcome, which is where we come in. This is why my job is so important. This is why Longevity Nation is so important. Because guess what? There do exist right now, in real time, people who are still alive, licensed and regulated, holistic physicians whose job it is to figure all of this stuff out. That's my job. That's the job of my colleagues. That's the reason my profession exists. But because there are so few of us, I have a radio program. I've aligned myself with longevity, because everybody needs to know what we know, and nobody does know what we know, and people are inclined to try to figure it out themselves, which is a fool's errand. So my job on this radio program and my job in interfacing with Longevity Nation is to disseminate to the world, in easy-to-understand terms, the basic fundamental concepts of science-based, clinically verified, holistic medical nutrition. Because healing is easy. You've been convinced by almost 100 years of political profiteering, pharmaceutical profiteering, to believe that healing is a complicated, sophisticated process that can only take place in multi-million-dollar high-tech facilities delivered by people with MDs after their name and white coats and stethoscopes around their neck. Quite frankly, anytime you see somebody with a white coat, if you're not bleeding to death, you should run the other way. But this is the situation that we're up against. We've been convinced that healing is a complicated process. It's not. Healing is easy. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. The body wants to fix itself, and my profession, members of my profession, are trained how to do that. So what we're doing on this radio program now and forever is to disseminate our information about boilerplate foundation medical nutrition therapeutics. Boilerplate foundation medical nutrition therapeutics. Stuff you can do right now without having to enlist a private consultation with a licensed and regulated naturopathic physician in your state, if such a one exists. There are simple foundation steps that everybody needs to take and can take without having to secure a private consultation with a holistic health professional. And that's what we bring to the table. This is what we talk about. Foundation medical nutritional strategies, the intention of which are to support and promote your body's ability to fix themselves. This is what we do, and why we do it is because everybody needs to know what we know, and nobody does know what we know. Right? I mean, we did simple steps about 100 years ago to double the lifespan of a human being, right? We cleaned up the water supply. We secured food production by having the government subsidize food production, and we cleaned up sewage. So by having public sanitation and clean water and regular food, we doubled life expectancy. Simple steps now that everybody takes for granted. Well, there are other simple steps that everybody needs to add into their daily routine. Eliminate foods that are messing up the body. There are 10 foods that we've identified that are not that great for the human body to interface with. You can get that list for free on my website. Free is good. Is free good? How do you like that? Free is good, I think. You can get that list for free on my website. Number 1, eliminate the 10 bad foods. Number 2, provide your body with the raw materials it needs every day, the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for your body weight, and that's what we talk about on this program. How to do that? The Longevity Company has a number of ways that you can do that efficiently depending upon your circumstances in life, and it's a relatively easy thing to figure out, understand, and dial in. If everybody in the world cleaned up their diet and took the appropriate healthy pack for their body weight every day, within a couple of years, visits to MDs for chronic disease would like bottom out so much that you'd see MDs on street corners saying, we'll do an ultrasound for food, right? We'll stitch up the wound for gas money. Foundation Medical Nutrition is where it's at, ladies and gentlemen. And you want to know why Longevity's nutritional supplements are exceptional and why you would be wise to lean on Longevity first before you even consider any other nutritional supplement company? Stick around. I'll tell you why after the break. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Welcome aboard. Today is Wednesday, the 4th day of June, 2014, and this is Fire Your MD. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you, June 4th, 2014. Welcome back to another live edition of Fire Your MD. And now's a good time to fire your MD. You can join us for a live stream. Just go to drglidden.com, sign up, sign in, and all you need to do to sign in is give us an email address, and you can watch this radio show live. Enter the chat room. Type me in a question in the chat room. I'll try to get to 2 or 3 chat room questions today during the live broadcast. And Miguel Cartagena, if you can call the radio station and tell the listening audience your testimonial, that would be fantastic. That would be great. I'm going to be getting to the chat room questions in just a minute. But so here's the deal. Tomorrow night, for subscribers to my website, for Dr. Glidden Insiders, people who have a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription to my live webinars and my recorded archived health webinars, I'm going to be doing a presentation tomorrow night for insiders and their guests exclusively, which outlines specifically the uniqueness of the Longevity brand, the uniqueness of the Longevity nutritional supplements, and why specifically they are different from over-the-counter nutritional supplements and why they produce better results, because as God is my witness, they do. I used to work for a nutritional supplement company that only sold to physicians before I became involved with Longevity. It was a great company. It still is a great company. And as a naturopathic physician, I have access to nutritional supplement companies that only sell to physicians. Their stuff is extremely, high quality, high potency. They'll only let doctors use it and give it to their patients. You can't get this stuff over the counter. And Dr. Wallach's therapeutics, by and large, the Longevity products, by and large, are more effective. Dr. Wallach's formulations, Dr. Wallach's protocols, Dr. Wallach's methodology produce more consistent, better results than anything I've seen. And I've seen a lot, and I've used a lot. And, really, we can talk about biochemistry until we're blue in the face. We can talk about organic versus synthetic vitamin preparations. We can talk about the colloidal mineral versus the metallic form of the mineral. We can talk about the holistic recipe. We can talk about the molecular form of the nutritional, of is it vitamin, is it cholecalciferol or what is it? But all of these distinctions fade into nothingness in the face of clinical results. And this is what longevity rests upon. This is why why I'm a supporter of longevity, because it works better than anything I've ever seen. And that's as simple as it gets. I mean, that's all you need to really understand as a layperson. And you can go on the internet and you can be blindsided and dumbfounded and confused by all of this biochemical mumbo-jumbo that everybody and their brother is sprouting out about the alkalinity or the acidity of the supplement, and is it organic or is it synthetic, and whatever. And honestly, there are some interesting points to ponder about the biochemistry of it, but in the final analysis, what it all boils down to is what works and what doesn't work, and Dr. Wallach's supplements work. I mean, that's the simple take-home message here. Dr. Wallach's nutritional supplements, Dr. Wallach's methodology, Dr. Wallach's formulations produce more consistent, remarkable, and better results than anything I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot in my 20-plus years of clinical experience, coming up on 25 years now, coming up on 26, actually. So, and, I mean, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, right? Dr. Wallach, the founder of longevity, 75 years old today. Dr. Wallach, 75 years old today. He's in the Bahamas right now. Otherwise, I'd have him on the program. I'll have him on as soon as he gets back into the country. If you want to see for yourself how good longevity nutritional supplementation is, just look at Dr. Wallach. He's 75. He doesn't look any older than 70. He gives 300 free lectures a year. He lives on, American Airlines. I think he travels on American or United, wherever he travels. He can stand up in front of a room for 3 or 4 hours a day without needing any assistance. His hair is black, and he doesn't color it. And he looks great for 75 years old. He has the energy of a 20-year-old. He has the bone structure of a 20-year-old. I've seen his DEXA scan. Dr. Wallach is a living, breathing testament to the clinical effectiveness of the longevity brand of nutritional supplements. Quite frankly, if you have any concerns about longevity, I mean, just look at Dr. Wallach. And then if you can, look at the leaders of the other companies who are competing with longevity and put them side by side with Dr. Wallach. Proof of the pudding's in the eating. Going to the phones when we come back. It looks like Gottfried from Germany is up next. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Let's go right to the phones, which are ringing off the hook, and see what Gottfried from Germany is up to. Hold on. Let me get this to work here. Achtung, Gottfried. How's it going over there, buddy?
Oh, it's very good. Thank you very, very, very much. And first of all, I wish Dr. Wallach a happy and prosperous birthday.
Yeah, it's pretty great, right? 75. Can you believe it? I mean, Dr. Wallach, he's a force of nature, a phenomenal...
I've seen this before.
A phenomenal testament to medical nutrition. Just look at the guy, right? So what's going on, Gottfried? How can I help? What's on your mind today?
I have two questions. The first one is, clinically, what is the difference between Ultra Body 30 and Cell Shield ITQ and BTT, sorry.
Oh, the Ultra Body Toddy and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. There's not a lot of difference between those two products. Beyond Tangy Tangerine, in my understanding, was the next iteration after the Ultra Body Toddy. And so if you compare point by point, the amount of vitamins, the amount of minerals, and specifically what's in the product, then Beyond Tangy Tangerine is going to have more. I believe, off the top of my head, the operative difference here, the main difference is in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, there are 115 fruits and vegetables, kind of like what's in the Juice Plus product, right? The Juice Plus product. And I don't believe that those are present in the ultra body toddy. I mean, I'd have to have both labels in front of me and read it point by point. But the Beyond Tangy Tangerine came after the ultra body toddy. And whenever Dr. Wallach does that, whenever Youngevity does that, they always improve upon the earlier version, right? And that's why that's why they also have, for over a year now, the Beyond Tangy 2.0, which is a step above the Beyond Tangy. So, and a couple of years from now, it'll change, and then it'll change again, because this is how we do it in order to keep up with advances in, medical nutrition.
And the second question is how on earth can optometrist said he can use his octopus to look into the back of the eyes?
So run that by me once more.
Why can eye doctor not use his machines to look at the back of the eyes?
Oh, they can. An eye doctor can like the machine that they use when you go to have your vision checked to see what prescription you need for your glasses?
Said he can use his machine. The machines cannot see anything at the back of the eyes.
He's an idiot. I mean, he's wrong. I mean, that's like a medical doctor telling you he can't listen to your heart with a stethoscope. I mean, that's just nuts. It's crazy. I mean, it's wrong. So I've had this procedure done many times in the U.S. when I've gone to have my, contact lens prescription or my glasses prescription checked. They can put drops in your eye to dilate your eye, and they can look right in the back of it, and they can take a picture of it. They can do the whole 9 yards. I can't believe that that's different in Germany. I think that he's probably just trying to promote your going to him rather than going down the street to the guy that, checks the eye, checks your vision for your glasses, right? Isn't that crazy? I mean, isn't that crazy what they get away with? It's nuts.
It is. It is crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to me, man, what they get away with. But what are you going to do, Gottfried? I mean, it's a crazy world, and, we do our best here to, tell the truth. And
that's why I rely 100% on longevity.
Yeah, you got to love Youngevity. How are your blood sugar levels, by the way? You've been struggling with that for a while. How's that going?
Very good.
Excellent. All right, Gottfried, you're the man. Keep up the work. Yeah?
A testimony of one of my downlines is getting blind, and all of a sudden taking the Ultimate Daily tablet, his eyes got back. He can drive without the glasses and everything.
So he was getting legally blind.
Yep. And all the eye doctors can do for him is that he should buy new glasses, new lenses.
Now, how long did it take for him on Youngevity to have a turnaround with his vision?
Less than 3 months.
Boy, you got to love it. I mean, how old was he and how much did he weigh?
57 years, and he's about 150 or so.
Well, you got to love it, man. I mean, you really have to love it, right? Testimonials keep piling up. But now, in a perfect world, let me tell you another little political piece to this pie here, right? Because of freedom of speech, people can call into any radio program they want and tell people what happened to them with medical nutrition or holistic medicine. They can do that. But we can't advertise that secondarily on a website or in a magazine. This is why in the United States you never ever see any advertisements for testimonials for anything, right? The only thing that's allowed for is non-medical conditions like, hair loss. I mean, that's not a medical condition according, not yet. Or weight loss, right? So this is why Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers and weight loss people can advertise in magazines and on TV and anywhere they want before and after stuff. And this is why dentists that do teeth straightening and teeth whitening can show before and after advertisements. But for anything else, macular degeneration, arthritis, anything that's a dyed-in-the-wool diagnosis, testimonials are illegal. And why do you think they're illegal?
Their things are killing people.
Yeah, so they're illegal because the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want the masses of people in the world to have any idea whatsoever that anything other than drugs and surgery is effective.
Exactly, so that they can kill you.
This is so that they can continue to rule the roost in medicine, right?
Right.
It's a problem. It's a big problem. There was a movement afoot here in the United States years ago to make testimonials legal. There was a bill trying to be passed in Congress to make testimonials legal, but sadly, the person who was championing that cause died. He died last year. He was a supporter of the show. He was a supporter of Dr. Wallach. He was elderly and he died, which was a bit of a problem. But nonetheless, if people, generally speaking, had any idea of the political underpinnings which hold up conventional medicine and the pharmaceutical industry, there would be a revolution again around the world, because
Look,
it is worse.
Dr. G, can you tell me something? How are we different from North Koreans if this is happening in Europe and Canada?
There's no difference. There's no difference. But because it's medical, because it's been baked into the cake over the last, 80, 100 years, people just accept it as the norm. And, it's like people don't know what they don't know, and people rattle their prescription medications to celebrate their health. And it's getting to a point, it's going to get to a breaking point eventually, but this is one of the cool things about longevity, because longevity understands, Dr. Wallach specifically understood the political nonsense that's going on here and the unbelievable monopolization of the medical market by the pharmaceutical industry. Dr. Wallach had direct first-hand experience with that. Dr. Wallach also has sued the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, so Dr. Wallach knows what it takes to fight the medical industry, right up front, and that's why he developed longevity. He developed longevity to do an end around the pharmaceutical industry. So we're not going to fight them anymore. We're not going to take them to court. We're not going to try to have more naturopathic medical schools built. We're not going to try to have more states license and regulate naturopathic medicine. What we're going to do is grow a grassroots coalition of the informed, people who know the simple solutions that medical nutrition has to offer, and to tell everybody in their life about it.
For the meantime, people are dying like flies.
People are dying like flies.
With the VA.
That's correct.
And they continue talking about Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, and they are doing the same thing at home.
And it's crazy. And so, how I channel my frustration and how I channel my anger about all of this, and righteous anger is indicated here, is through generating a strong and effective longevity coalition. And, this is what gets me up in the morning, and this is how we're going to make a difference in the world. We can't do anything about 9/11. We can't do anything really about politics because the money is way too big and the power is way too big, but we still have freedom of speech. We still have the ability to buy nutritional supplements here, and so we're going to generate a grassroots coalition of the informed, of people all around the world who recover their health, just like you're doing and like your friend did, and then who spread the message. And it's only a matter of time until that becomes like a wildfire all around the world, and it's going to be because of people just like you, Gottfried. So Godspeed, keep up the good work. You, in fact, are the last best hope.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, I'll see you in the future. This is how we do it, folks, and this is why we do it. This is why I do it. I mean, different people, come into longevity, get involved with medical nutrition for different reasons, and you don't have to become a longevity distributor here. There's two ways you can interface with us. You can interface with longevity as a customer. You can get the health recovery protocols and the nutritional supplements for the wholesale price. The protocols are free. You get the nutritional supplements at the wholesale price, and you got to buy stuff somewhere. You might as well get the best stuff in the world and get it at the wholesale price, right? I mean, so you can just become a customer, or you can become a distributor. And if you become a distributor, we will pay you to help spread the word of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Longevity right now has created over 200 multi-million-dollar earners and 200 people that have made multiple millions of dollars helping people to recover their health. And that's like never fail fudge. I mean, what could be better than that? Is there anything better than that? Well, there might be. I mean, win the lottery, that's better than that, maybe. You know, you win the lottery, that's a great thing, but have you helped anybody in the process? No. With longevity, you increase your wealth by helping others to increase their health, and there's not even one thing that's wrong with that. And it's a million times easier than most people think that it is. People have been scared away from network marketing because of network marketing distributors over the years who have their heads up there, you know what, and who oversell whatever they're selling, who talk about whatever they're selling inappropriately. They're the people that you really don't want to see at the wedding, the people that you really don't want to see at the cocktail party, right? Because all they do is pitch, 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 sell, sell, sell. Those people have given network marketing a bad name. Network marketing is not like that. Network marketing is full of integrity. True network marketing is full of integrity, it's full of honesty, and it's all about helping people. That's what it is. And if you become a member of Longevity, especially if you become a member of Team Glidden, or if you become an insider, if you're already a member of somebody else's longevity group, you can become an insider, gain access to our enrollment instructions, our business training, and the health stuff that we have, and learn how to become an effective, sophisticated, awesome network marketer. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is bright indeed. We're going to talk to Miguel when we come back. Stick around. You're missing some great chat in the chat room of the live video cast. Go to drglidden.com and check it out. I'd like to give a shout out to the people in the chat room now. Rita, Cynthia Rogers, Teresa, Mopar's Rule in Iowa, Sunday, S. Brico, who else is here? EP, Kyle Ann, and Miguel Cartagena, who I believe is up next. Hello, Miguel. Thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, this is Dr. Glidden. I'm calling for my lupus, but first of all, I would like to share my story if I'm allowed.
Yeah, go ahead, man. That's why we're here.
Okay. My story is I was trained to join the United States Marine Corps, and I joined the recruiter. I took the ASVAB for the MOS I wanted, all that stuff. And then I started doing personal training. I was working 4 hours a day with 50-pound weights and doing exercises after that. Was really motivated. But I took 2 weeks off, and suddenly I couldn't move. Long story short, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and that was bad. I started taking medications, but the first one gave me a reaction, and the second one gave me an infection.
Wow.
That got me suspicious because one of the doctors who was a neurologist, if they're supposed to set an example, they're supposed to eat healthy and stuff like that. But the minute I saw that he ate KFC for lunch when he arrived at the office, I started getting suspicious. And the other person who was treating me for the disease had a legal license that still lasts till 2018.
Wow.
And also, another suspicion. And then I said, he also said that MS was genetic. I found this suspicious because how can somebody have a legal permission, right, to do something regardless if a cure or a better treatment is found? I stopped taking medications and I tried to find out specifically of why MS happened. So I started searching the symptoms and the treatments for MS, and I could recognize, what specifically MS is. Most of the cases of MS that occurs in the world, and the similarities are they have the same heartbeats and the lack of vitamin D. Very interesting. One thing stood out. Apparently in Sweden, has a few months a year where the sun only appears for like 4 hours a day. My logic was, if this is true, then people who work inside buildings will not have sunlight or vitamin D for a few months, which will lead them to be vitamin D deficient. And when they get a chance, it starts to go cold because it only appears for 4 hours a day. So far, my knowledge was, so most of MS patients have the same heartbeats, but north of the equator, which means it snows, which means not very much sunlight in a few countries for a few months, and even less if you work a daytime and 8-hour job. According to an article I read about atherosclerosis, it requires, at least the basic thing I read was, it requires calcium, iron, triglycerides, but vitamin D helps clear this plague. If you're vitamin D deficiency, you're obviously going to get atherosclerosis, at least to what I found out.
All right, Miguel, now we got 1 minute left in this segment, so bring it on home, brother. So what did you do and what happened?
Okay, so basically I started, looking for, what all the things that the disease was, and pretty much was all vitamin deficiency, all nutrient deficiencies in the body. So I started taking the longevity products along with another diet, and most of my symptoms were gone in a month and a half.
How long ago was that?
I think it was about February. I even put a link here in the chat right now of my picture. I lost about 40 weights too.
Wow.
I lost 40 pounds, I lost 40 pounds and healed most of my MS symptoms trusting longevity.
Gotta love it, man. You are the greatest. You stick with me. I'll bring up your question for your aunt or whoever it was on the other side of the break. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing speaks louder than results, and that's what we're all about here. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. See you in hour 2.